question for you. If you had a relative that died, or even a friend that died, and you were having a funeral, you have all these guests coming to your significant other or your friend's funeral, whatever, you know what I'm talking about. And you have to go through checkpoints to get to the funeral because a family member or somebody that's at the funeral was being targeted by the cops. Well, that is what happened to the Hells Angels overseas. They put up checkpoints and they were busting people. They were even taking their motorcycles from them because of this funeral. You can't even bury your people in peace anymore without them getting involved in it. Unbelievable. We're going to be talking about that. Don't forget, like and subscribe. And the second half of the show will be coming up as well. If you want to help us out, $ Motorcycle Madhouse over on the Cash App. We're going to get into the news, baby. Okay, first one here, man. Sad state of affairs. Looks like a bad crash here in Fulton. I guess it was involving a motorcycle group, as they said, in both directions, I guess. Sends 5 to the hospitals. Multiple calls were placed to emergency services before the crash, saying the group was driving recklessly and at extreme speeds. Now, there's one of the motorcycles sitting right there on the pavement. It looks like a rocket. Sad state of affairs right there with the rockets, man. You guys got to, you kids got to calm down on that damn rockets. Several people are injured after a motorcycle group race and all through downtown crash. Grand Rapids Police Chief Eric Winstrom confirmed. Winstrom said there were at least 3 bikes and 2 vehicles involved. One of the bikes looks to have caught fire. One person is in grave condition, according to Winstrom, and 5 were sent to the hospital. And again, multiple calls were placed. But if you look at that stuff, man, it was closed for about 3.5 hours for the cleanup. That bike is gone, destroyed. Oh my goodness, man. I'm sure that there'll be updates on this one. You got to calm it down, man, especially racing in a city part. Take it the highway or something else. Here's a sad state of affairs right here. Anamosa, Iowa, the National Motorcycle Museum is closing, and it's closing its doors on September 5th. This is a recognized symbol in the United States, this museum. They have all kinds of bikes, all kinds of paraphernalia, the whole 9 yards. It's sad that it's going under. And it goes on to say, after a stoic 34-year run, the National Motorcycle Museum is closing down for good September 5th, one of the preeminent motorcycle museums in the country, and it is. The Harley-Davidson Museum don't have nothing on this one. Its board of directors finally decided to shut its door after 35 years of financial struggles. Founded by J&P Cycles dynamic husband-wife duo John and Jill Parham in 1989, the museum first opened in Sturgis, South Dakota, with a modest 40 motorcycles on display. In 2001, it moved to Hollywoodism, Anamosa, Iowa. At one point, housed more than 500 rare collectible motorcycles. Unbelievable. Let me turn this sucker off for you. There you go, right there. Everything from the early 1900s until probably today. And it goes on to say it was a very hard decision, and it was an emotional decision because my husband and I started this together. Jill Parham said, we've struggled for years to cover wages and utilities, partly due to low visitation. Man, you guys are all going to miss out not going to this one. And I guess the pandemic also hit the nonprofit museum hard, as it had to close its doors for several months. Harsh Iowa winters didn't help attendance either, losing founder and driving force John Parham to pulmonary fibrosis in 2017 dealt the museum another deal. There's a rat fink right there. It says over the years, it was first to display Raleigh Free's 1948 Vincent HRD, aka the bathing suit bike, the picture of the Free stretched out like Superman on the Vincent's tank wearing only swimming trunks. It honored legends like Steve McQueen and his 1947 Indian Chopper. This is a sad day for the motorcycling community, losing that one, man. Losing that one. Going over to Monroe County Bikers motorcycle group in Pocono, organizing a backpack giveaway. The annual Bikers for Backpacks giveaway is organized by the Pocono Mountain Harley Owners Group. Waving a sign around, it may be hard to read the thank you note that Hunter and his big sister Ava made. It's for the people who are ensuring that they have a good start to the school year at Maury Elementary School in Stroudsburg. For school, you need all the school supplies so that you can work and everything and get good grades. Yes, you want to get good grades out there, kids. Things have, and this right here, the mother was talking, been tight this summer, especially because, you know, with the kids home, we're paying for lunches and stuff we normally wouldn't be. So it's definitely a huge help. That is the Pocono Mountain Harley Owners Group organizing this backpack giveaway. And on another note, I know you parents out there glad them kids going back to school. Here's the main story, what I was talking about out of New Zealand. Gang funeral. There you go. Gang funeral right away. They can't even give respect, man. Leaves one person behind bars, bikes impounded. There is the checkpoints right there. It goes on to say, police said unlawful behavior was observed at a checkpoint as gang members rode into town for the funeral of a former Hells Angels president. Quote, as a result, 2 bikes have been impounded and 1 person is behind bars following a checkpoint. Inspector Richard Sammy said 1 person was arrested for breaching release conditions. They're always waiting to do something, man, them cops out there. And the police issued a number infringement to those arriving for the funeral. You can't even bury somebody over in Australia, and it happens over here in the United States as well. The New Zealand Herald earlier reported members of the Headhunters, Filthy Few, joined the funeral procession for the former Hells Angel president, Doug J. And I guess the convoy first met up in Mount Eden before traveling down the Southern Motorway. Can't even bury your own people, man, without the cops all over the place. I just find it ridiculous, man. You can't give it one day without having to be a bunch of douches. Seriously, you're a bunch of douches. Like I said, man, what if that happened to your family member or something and they were doing this kind of stuff after inviting your guests? I don't know, man. You're going to have a lot of naysayers out there that rah, rah, rah for the cops and stuff saying they deserve it, but they don't deserve it. Nobody deserves to have their funeral interrupted because of a bunch of cops running a checkpoint to try to show you how big their deal is, if you know what I mean. We're going to the second half of the show right now. You can listen on MotorcycleMadhouse.com as well as the YouTube channel Motorcycle Madhouse Radio. We'll be right back. We going live right now for this second segment. Rock on, baby. Join the Insane Throttle Members Only Club on YouTube or Spotify and receive exclusive content. Your membership in the Throttle Club helps keep the show going strong.
Is an in-depth look at the trials and tribulations of street gang and motorcycle club life. This isn't the run-of-the-mill book that doesn't give the goods. This book will go into detail of events that actually happened. All materials in this book have been approved by those involved. There is nothing poetic, nor is there any price worth paying for the life we choose to live on the streets. James Hollywood Machikari, Brotherhood and Betrayal.
Introducing the all-new service from Insane Throttle Motorcycle Madhouse Radio. 24/7 and nothing but the best in 80s till today rock and metal, baby. And here's an added bonus. You can now listen to Motorcycle Madhouse Morning Show with Hollywood and Chinatown live on the air. Go to motorcyclemadhouse.com and bookmark the radio station and get down with the king of biker radio.